So you've recognized that what you're experiencing in your relationship is actually trauma. Maybe you've talked to a therapist or a coach, or maybe you joined my monthly group coaching membership and the clarity has been hitting you like a ton of bricks. And then for a hot minute, you went into full-on meltdown mode after all these years of suffering silently and trying to be small in order to keep the peace. Maybe you found yourself crying or screaming or demanding or digging your heels in or giving the silent treatment or even making ultimatums. And now it's dawning on you that literally none of these approaches have been effective in the least. And so maybe you tried forcing them to see your pain. No dice. You tried dictating boundaries to help them change, and that failed. You tried pulling away emotionally to lessen the pain, and now they're claiming you're the cold-hearted monster. So, all of these attempts to manage the relationship, they've actually made your situation worse. Because now, your abuser has proof to point out that your currently erratic or volatile behavior is this totally justifiable cause for their years of betrayal and mistreatment. And so right now, maybe you're wallowing in this paralyzing worry that everything you've endured truly is your fault. Maybe everything they say is true. So I want to take a moment right now to reframe all of that self-recrimination and shame that is drowning you, overwhelming you, crushing you right now. So, you've experienced some form of expert validation of your abusive reality that resulted in some clarity. Yay! And then you've experienced righteous indignation at like these years of mistreatment, and it bubbled up to your emotional surface and it boiled over. Ugh. But you've experienced that the boiling over dynamic is counterproductive. Yay, light bulb. And now you are blaming yourself for his actions as well as your own. Ugh, not good. You recognize the importance of detaching your heart and mind due to the years of abuse. Yay. But you don't know how to do that safely and wisely. Ugh. Okay. If this is you, pause, take some deep breaths, because I have some news for you. You are actually pretty normal in all of this. All of that pent-up anger and frustration is totally understandable. Now, yes, it's unproductive, but it's completely understandable. So you can't make him be nice again, because none of us can actually make another person be a good human. They either choose human decency and goodness for themselves, or they don't. And you really can't change that for anyone but yourself. Here's the thing. If you suffered in silence for years and tried to be the good wife for years and tried to be the submissive and silent wife for years and tried to keep the peace for years, and then you had this mental explosion where it's like, wow, oh my goodness, this is not just difficult, this is actually abusive. And then you've had this short season where you're looking at yourself and you're saying, oh my goodness, I wasn't being a very decent human for the past few weeks or months. I don't like that path. I don't like that me. I don't want to be this person. I also don't want to be that silent, suffering person who's allowing myself to just sit here and take the abuse. I don't want to be this angry, controlling person either. I don't want to be this silent treatment, demanding person either. I'm going to choose to recalibrate. Now, having any of those reactions just means you're a normal human with a normal response to years of what is absolutely abnormal treatment. Choosing to recalibrate when you realize that these types of reactions are not fixing the situation means you're also a decent person with a tender sense of justice who genuinely wants to do what is right and is genuinely dedicated to following your conscience. That's a yay. That's a good on you. So your recent season of boiling over, here's a really big thing. Your recent season of boiling over does not make you now responsible for your partner's years of controlling or exploitative or betraying behavior. Your recent season of boiling over is 100% a warning sign to carefully heed. You need to pay attention to this warning sign and recalibrate to move forward in greater safety and wisdom with your next steps. An essential part of this post-trauma healing process includes working through that sense of a black and white shame that so many of us have been conditioned to feel whenever we've done something we regret. So if you're feeling like, oh my goodness, I reacted to this abuse really badly, maybe it was understandable, it might even feel justifiable, but it was not productive and not healthy, that doesn't make you a bad human. That makes you a normal human who needs to make different choices. So if your recent trauma processing has looked really ugly, then I want you to set aside that sense of, I'm now a bad person, I should be ashamed of all of this, and say, I don't want to become this person. I don't want to be this way. I don't want to stay this way. So I'm going to choose to change, and this does not make me at fault for someone else's years of bad behavior. So you can 100% recalibrate if you realize that your healing process is not moving forward in a actual healthy way. You can recalibrate. You can move forward with wiser and safer patterns because you are not a fixed entity. You are dynamic and able to grow and learn and improve and adjust. And I don't want you to pour out blame on yourself. Instead, I want you to look at this experience that you've had, and I want you to learn from what doesn't work, learn from what seems to be out of alignment or harmful to your own integrity, and choose different solutions. So you can, instead of collapsing under the shame or saying, okay, this must all have been my fault all of these years, say, I processed this for a while in a way that was not the best approach. I regret how I handled this. I don't want to repeat it. I don't want it to become a pattern. I now know that there is help available to guide me towards safer response strategies. I'm choosing to do things differently going forward. I've learned some crucial lessons, and I'm going to implement these lessons in order to aim for A, greater safety, and B, closer alignment with my conscience. I want you to know that you can recognize the truth of the situation. You don't have to wallow in self-blame and self-recrimination. You don't have to take on the blame for someone else's poor choices or abusive and exploitative and betraying choices. You can choose that you are going to handle this differently. You're going to handle this as safely and as wisely as you possibly can, given the dynamics of your particular situation. You're going to get through this. And if you're feeling all alone and you are really craving guidance and support, I have got tools for you. Just comment tools underneath, and I will send you a link to my monthly group coaching membership. It's less than going to get ice cream, and all of the tools that I throw in with it. You're going to get through this. I promise. You can do this. You can heal from this. And you can become a person you are proud to look at in the mirror. It's possible. Comment tools underneath, and I'll send you a link.